Hampshire primary will go on tomorrow with one less candidate on the ballot. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will return to the Sunshine State after ending his campaign over the weekend.
The once thought heir apparent to Donald Trump in the Republican Party now throwing his support behind his former rival.
I'm proud to have delivered on 100% of my promises, and I will not stop now. It's clear to me that a majority of Republican primary voters want to give Donald Trump another chance.
He ran a really good campaign, I will tell you. It's not easy. They think it's easy doing this stuff, right? It's not easy. But as you know, he left the campaign trail today at 3 p.m. and in so doing, he was very gracious and he endorsed me, so I appreciate it. I appreciate that, and I also look forward to working with Ron and everybody else to defeat crooked Joe Biden.
Queen City News Chief Legal Analyst Colie Froess joins us now. So, Colie, this came a little bit out of nowhere. Why do you think he did this right now, just days before that primary?
It was perfect timing. If you don't anticipate winning New Hampshire, which statistically he was going to come in third in New Hampshire, Nikki Haley put a number of dollars in New Hampshire. He really was going all in Iowa because he thought he could catch the former president. He had no chance in Iowa. And so statistically, if your donors are backing away and you're draining money and bleeding money, it makes sense to go ahead and walk away now and potentially save your chance and yourself for the future.
When I saw that he had canceled all of his appearances on the morning show, I thought, here it comes. And then I was thinking, there's a whole lot of horse trading going on between probably the Trump camp and with DeSantis. Is that who is going to help out most, or is it going to help out Haley?
That was the only person out there. I mean, because him and Haley had some fiery moments throughout this campaign, and so there was no chance on earth that he was going to throw his support behind her. But what I can say is his campaign ended the same way it started. I mean, they've been campaigning for a long time, but we can't forget when he started with his Twitter announcement, it was a very, very bad cluster of a show. I mean, sound would go on, sound would go off, they would be talking and then folks would disappear. And that was kind of what we got throughout this campaign. There was a number of times where he just wasn't there as a candidate. He never connected with his voters. And because of that, that's why you saw him step away. The only problem is he raised millions of dollars. His PAC had about $200 million. And so now what do you do with all that money? That's probably going to be the biggest portion. And so while he's thrown his vocal support behind former President Trump, now will his donors and his supporters support the former president? I think that will be soon. We'll find out in New Hampshire for sure.
And politically speaking, DeSantis is a young guy. So do you think he runs again in the future here?
He is relatively young, but we have to go back and look at a little bit of Florida history. He was about to lose the Florida governor's race. And then there was a scandal in Florida. Former President Trump, ironically, came to his support and supported him down there in Florida and helped him to win. But he was one scandal away for not even ever being the governor of Florida. And so while he did have the potential of being the future of the Republican Party, the problem is because he has a military background and voters are extremely superficial, he never breaks down and becomes a person. In the debates you saw it, in his one-on-ones you saw it, and because of that, his candidacy on a national platform is extremely limited because you want that charismatic candidate. You want someone like Trump that will meet you person to person. Even though he's a billionaire, I can still talk to the common person and not lose that touch. And because of that, DeSantis was never able to do that. At least on a national level, I think it will be extremely hard to see him as a candidate. Some cabinet seat potentially if he didn't burn enough bridges, maybe.
Yeah, New Hampshire primary tomorrow, and it's coming down to 2, and it'll be with Haley and Trump and tomorrow in New Hampshire. Colie Froess, thank you very much.